Okay, so today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. So, what I'm going to be doing is sort of reenacting or describing the events of a car accident that I was once in. So, it was not a very bad car accident. It could be called more of a fender bender. So, it's just an accident that I was in when I was younger. And I got this idea from watching so much of the People's Court. And many times when there are cases that involve car accidents, they have this board up on the side. And the claimants, the plaintiff or defendant, sort of demonstrate to make it clear for the judge exactly how the accident happened. So I always sort of like that part because they tell a story and just is sort of relaxing to me. So that's what I'm going to do today. You can see that I have drawn out sort of a bird's eye view of the intersection where the accident happened. And I'm going to just sort of change the view just a bit. I'm going to adjust the camera and get you a little closer. And I will get started. Alright, so here we are. You can see a little bit clearer the overhead view of this intersection. So I also got these cute little Hot Wheels cars. So let's see, let's take this one out. So this one here, this is a 96 Porsche, which I definitely was not driving at the time. But that's what I'll be driving today for this video. I'll just put this to the side for a moment. And the other car will be let's see, this is a Ford Mustang. Okay, so that will be the other car that was involved in the accident. Okay, so I'll put these just to the side. And we're going to be using these cars to demonstrate what happens on that day. Okay, but first I will just sort of describe a little bit about this intersection here. So this accident happened when I was a teenager. I was sort of new to driving. Like I said, it was not a very bad accident. No one had gotten hurt. Okay, so this is a very large intersection here. It's a very busy intersection. So I'll just describe here. And I will make up names for the roads. So this cross here right in the middle, this is symbolizing the light. Okay, so this is the traffic light. Okay, and we have two roads that run perpendicular to each other. So this is one road, and I think I will use we'll use colors as the names of the streets. So we will call this road running in this image north and south. We will call that one, we'll call it Yellow Street. Okay, we'll use colors. And the road that is running east and west, we will call that Lavender Lane. Okay, so we've got Yellow Street and Lavender Lane. So it may be a little hard to tell. I tried to do my best in being accurate. I am sure that there's a few things that aren't exactly right, but so what we have here is this road coming up to the light. This is the center line of the road, so we have traffic that can travel this way, and on the other side the traffic is in two lanes and going this way. Okay, now here there is also this I'm not sure what you'd call it, but where you can yield onto this traffic here. So if you'd like to make a right hand turn over here, you could do that. And this road is traveling this way, so there are two lanes here traveling in this direction, and this, we'll put the arrows to show this whole road here is coming this way. Okay. And you can see here that for the people traveling this way, they can either go straight, or if you will be making a left-hand turn to come down this road, you could go into this lane here and make a left-hand turn. Okay. And then we have here the black line shows where the opposite side of the road is. So the traffic here will be traveling in this direction, and it's a two-lane road. Okay, so, and here we have another way to turn right, where you could turn off and come down this way. Okay, and this here is when you cross the intersection, and you could, from here, you would come across and you'd still be traveling in this direction here. And this is the other side of the road where traffic is coming this way. Or they could make a right, come up this way. And from here, cross the intersection and travel this way. So I hope this makes sense to you. Now from here, again, if you want to make a left-hand turn and come over here, you would go from here into this lane and make your left. Okay. And this is where the accident actually happened. Okay. So, alright, so I hope all of that makes sense. Now, let me just describe this light here and how the traffic moves and this intersection. Okay, so in this type of intersection, each direction has its own turn according to what the light is on. So, for instance, if you were traveling in this direction, you'd have to wait for the green light to go straight. But any traffic that is making a left-hand turn has their own left-hand turn signal or a green arrow facing this way. And at that point in time, all of the other lights will be red. And the same coming this way. You can either have the green light to go straight, or you'll wait for your turn to have a green arrow to come around and turn left into this lane. And that is the same over here. You can have the green light to go straight up this way. And the same is in this direction. Okay. So for this light, these people here, when this light turns green for them, it first has a green light and a green left turning arrow. So when this side has a green light, they can go straight. This lane can also go straight. Or if they choose, they have a green arrow and they can come over this way. And then eventually the green arrow goes away and they can only continue to go straight. Because at that point, this one gets the green light as well. So then all traffic is moving straight in this intersection. Or these people trying to make left-hand turns this way and this way are waiting for the traffic to clear up coming straight, because the straight drivers have the right of way, and if they don't have the green arrow, they have to wait till the traffic is clear, but there still has to be a green light. Okay, coming in this direction and this direction, it's a little different. So in this direction, every direction has its own light, its own green light, own red light. So first, there will be a green arrow on this side and a green arrow on this side. So any traffic who is making a left-hand turn, which would be the people in this lane coming this way, and the people in this lane coming over this way, they would get a green light first, and at that point all other traffic lights will be red. And then when this light, the green arrow, turns red, the green light turns on for any traffic going straight. So that would mean all traffic coming this way, this way, this way, and this way can move on, and all of the other lights would be red at that point. Even the left turning lanes, they would be red. Alright, so here we are. Now I can get into what had happened on this day. Okay? So, I was traveling in this direction here, and at the time, all of the lights going in this direction were red. So I was traveling here, and I was going to be making a left-hand turn, so I was stopped at the light in the left-hand turning lane. There was lots of traffic. I'm not sure exactly where I was coming from, but I'm sure that I was headed home to my house. My house was in this direction. And I was a teenager at the time. I was driving my mother's car. Okay. So I was also alone in the car. I was driving by myself. And now here is the other car. So the other car was coming from the opposite direction on the same road. And this car was in the left-hand turning lane, coming the opposite direction. So if everything were to go as planned, what would happen is the light would give this person a green arrow for turning left, and at the same time I would have a green arrow directing me to my left, and all of the other lights would be red at that time. So if it went ideally when the light turned green, he would come this way as I was going this way, and we would be fine. But that's not what happened. So the light turned green as it should have, with my arrow and his arrow, and as I was turning left, he changed his mind and didn't want to go left anymore. He decided to go straight instead, and boom, he hit me. So at that point, I believe that was the first car accident that I was in as a new driver. And I don't remember exactly what I did at that point. I'm sure I just stopped in the middle of the road. But I do know what this guy did. He hit me, and then he turned around, kept on going, and drove away. So I wasn't about to leave and start chasing him. I believe I probably got myself into a better position somewhere here in the middle of the intersection and stopped. And thankfully, a few minutes later, someone else who had witnessed the accident followed this guy as he drove away and was able to get the person's license plate number. So they weren't able to get the person to stop or anything. I probably pulled over somewhere on the side of the road, maybe. And so thankfully that witness helped me out. I don't remember if I would have called the cops first or called my mother. I probably called my mom. But the cops did come, and they took a report, and I think there was a few people who actually stopped to help me. And thankfully, I didn't get hurt. I don't think that anyone had gotten hurt. I didn't end up hitting any other cars. Nothing else major happened. Thank goodness it didn't. If I were to accidentally, I could have hit someone else, anything like that. So I'm not really sure what this person was thinking. I don't know. I don't know if they changed their mind, or I don't know why they would come out this way and then just turn around and leave. I don't know. But anyway, eventually going with the license plate that they were able to get off of the car, the police or insurance or whoever was able to identify who it was and was able to find the person. I don't believe they lived near me, and my mother, I guess, would have put a claim into the insurance, and of course it was not my fault, this accident. It was definitely the fault of this person. And thank goodness, because I had witnesses. And so I remember that my mother had to go to court for this. I remember she had gone to court a couple of times because I don't think that this person ever showed up to any of the court dates. So I think that would have probably been like a civil case. I'm not sure. I never really asked my mother, and I don't think that I probably would have understood at the time what was going on. So I'm sure the car probably had gotten fixed. It wasn't a Porsche, so I'm sure it wasn't that expensive, but still probably cost enough money that my mother tried to have the person responsible pay for it. Maybe that's why she was in court. But they never showed up. So I don't really know what would have happened then. If they could get the money. I'm not sure how that works. If you have a civil judgment against you and you don't show up at court, if they can somehow take the money from you, I don't know. Or if you don't pay it, then you just don't pay it. I don't know. I'm not sure how that works. So anyway, I still drive on this intersection pretty much every day, and I always remember that that happens when I'm here. So I really do that every time now. Every time I am approaching an intersection like this, even if it's just a small one, if I do have a green light, I never just zoom right through. So the speed limit on this road was probably about 50. If I were driving straight and the light was green, as I'm getting closer, I always make it a point to slow it down and just kind of look as best I can to to see if anything is coming on either side. I don't obviously come to a full stop and look. That would not be safe either, but you never know. You could think that just because the light is red for these people, they might miss it, they might run a red light. You never know. So you can't always trust what the light says. You've got to be aware. So I always do that when the light turns green, especially if I'm stopped at a light here and it turns green. I always look first to make sure nothing is coming, and then I go. So probably annoying to the people behind me, but I just think that's the smartest thing. So like, I will just I thought this was going to take a little longer describing this accident, but I was thinking I would do 2 different little fender benders that I was in, but I would have to redraw the entire road. But I can describe how the other accident happened if I just sort of erase a few things here. So I'm going to just erase all of these things here. And let's see. Okay. Yeah, that works. Okay. So this is another sort of really quick little accident that I was in. I think also when I was in my 20s maybe. So this time this was a road. Let me get my Porsche. Okay. So on this intersection, totally different accident, and this one was my fault. Okay. This time I was in my own car. No one got hurt. It wasn't a very bad accident. So the intersection this time, there is a road coming up this way, and so this let's do it like that. So in this intersection there's a road coming up this way, and it's a just a 3-way intersection. So there's a road that is there we go, we'll do that. Okay. So this is all just grass and buildings and things like that. And this road here, you can come up this way, and when you get here, there is a light right here. Sorry if my drawings are a little confusing. So if I were traveling on this road here, coming straight, I would come to a point where I have to turn. There is no outlet here to go straight, so I can either make a right or a left. So on this day, I was driving behind. I was driving behind another car, and so this road right here is very busy. So there's a lot more traffic on this road, and normally if you are coming from this direction, you are the one waiting for traffic to clear. So here, if you were to come here and the light is red, you are allowed to make a right-hand turn if there's no traffic coming. So that is allowed. Now, what had happened was I was following behind this car, and we were both waiting here because the light was red, but we were both attempting to make a right-hand turn. Okay. Now, as I was waiting here, I was also looking at the traffic here to see, can this person go? What's going on? Are they able to make their turn? Is it going to be my turn coming up soon? So we were both watching for this traffic, and at some point, this car in front of me saw that there was no traffic coming from this direction, and they started to turn, and I started to pull up and saw that there was still no traffic coming. And so while looking in this direction, I thought that this person had left already and came this way, but they didn't. They stopped for some reason and didn't turn. And with my eyes looking over here for any cars, I hit that one. I hit this car. I'm not sure why they stopped, but that's what happened. It wasn't very hard. It was a very light bump there, but still, it was enough. So we both stopped. We got out of the car, and we exchanged our information, and everything was fine. So that's just another example of, sort of thinking that you know what's going on. You're thinking about the fact that, well, the traffic pattern says it's okay for you to go, and then it's not. So, just try to be more careful on the roads and not be mindless about things we're doing on the road. Thankfully, no one got hurt in any of these accidents. So anyway, wear your seatbelt. Yeah. I don't know, I thought that would be interesting. So I hope that you enjoyed hearing that story. And if you like this type of video, let me know. I was thinking that I could use some examples from the People's Court and reenact some of the accidents that happen that are described on that show. So, but then this time I thought, well, why don't I just go over the accidents that I was in myself. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed